Hello and welcome, my friends. This is my hero review series, which I'm going to be here reviewing every single hero in the game. We're going to be doing all our hero reviews at level 10. We're going to go over their health, their armor, their attack, and their cooldowns. And then we're going to go over all of their abilities, how much damage they do, and whether or not it's worth it to get that hero. And then the last thing we're going to do is I'm going to give them a rating from 1 to 10, 10 being the best and 1 being the worst. I'm going to talk about whether or not this guy is worth it to use on your team. So, of course, this is the original OG hero, so he should be pretty reasonably good, kind of like almost all of the other OG heroes in the game, but that is not necessarily the case. His health is seemingly fairly low. His armor is not truly low. Its defense is not that bad. I don't know why that's so low. His attack is okay, and his cooldowns are very quick, which is quite nice, because he gets a lot of these things to just happen kind of all the time, which is cool. So, here's his 5 abilities, by the way. He's got Arrow to the Knee, which does 90 physical damage and stuns them. Shoots out a lot, by the way. He's got Ricochet, which shoots out an arrow that does 35 physical damage to 8 enemies, which you end up not usually utilizing as much as you would want to most of the time. Then you've got Martial Flourish, which strikes an enemy 3 times, dealing 270 physical damage, which if you're fighting a specific kind of beefy enemy, that's pretty solid, but 270 is not a big deal, to be honest. And then Disengage. So this is a weird one, because when you're below 40% health, which doesn't happen that often, most of the time, it can only activate then, but you get below 40% health, you jump backwards, dealing 120 physical damage to nearby enemies 3 times. And then lastly, we got the Arrow Storm here, which is just an ability. Every hero has an ability here, and it does a pretty significant amount of damage. 20 arrows times 35, it can add up to dealing a pretty good amount of damage. So let's jump into the Odal, I'm calling it the Odal Farmlands. The Blighted Farmlands here. And we're going to do all of our hero run-throughs on this map in particular. So a couple things to note is movement speed. Slow to medium. Slow to medium. Not fast. Doesn't have any teleports or anything like that. Can move around a little bit, but definitely not moving around to catch a guy or anything like that. He's about the speed of most units, if not a smidge faster. So I'm going to be building a barracks here for every hero, and we're going to talk about their attack and everything. So as far as attack goes, he's got 15 to 23 attack, which is really medium. Very mid. His armor is okay, so he's not going to die very easily, but his health is still pretty low at 312. He does have an arrow attack, so he can shoot from a range distance. Here we go. We got the first attack, which does 90 damage and does a stun. And you can see the bounce shot happened already as well. So we did some bounce action, but it only didn't bounce to 8 enemies, only bounced to the 3. And we can see the stunning coming back into play. Of course, he does have a regular non-ranged attack as well. But the only way to make some of these things happen is actually to lose our health. So I don't know if that's going to even be possible, but we could try. And then we've got our main ability here, which is probably the best part about Vesper. When you use this thing, you're going to kill a lot of units. It's going to be quite nice. But like I said, when we have this much armor, and when we have I want to say a low amount of health, but a reasonable amount of health, it's unlikely for us to actually lose down to below 40% of health unless we're literally just attacking non-stop the entire time against some of these beefy units. And I don't want to go below 40% of my health. But sometimes it can happen, and he does it. We get a triple attack, he jumps backwards, and he does a couple shots to take him down. So those are pretty much all the abilities in action there. Again, there's nothing special about him. If you're going to use him in an effective way, one thing you're going to want to do is try to put him outside of the range of most defending towers and just let him shoot. Let him do his arrow shots, let him do his stuff. He'll do a reasonable amount of damage. Make sure you use your abilities before you send out the next wave, and you're going to be a very, very happy person. Overall, I'm going to give him a very solid 5. I don't feel like he is, by himself, very, very usable. I feel like he's outclassed by a lot of heroes, and even though I liked a lot of the base heroes in previous Kingdom Rush games, I don't feel like he fills the role to be good forever. I feel like he's just almost always outclassed by somebody else who's new and fresh and interesting. So I'm going to give him a solid 5 for kind of mid-damage, mid-movement speed, mid-everything. They really did make a very average hero to give you as a starting hero, and that just makes sense. If you guys agree with me, please press the like button. If you disagree, let me know in the comments why. And of course, have a super-duper delicious day.